Hi there, welcome to the Kenny Veach MK mystery. Recently, there has been a very creepy finding within the case, and as well, new activity on a certain Cryptic channel, which has posted some strange, unusual videos since. This video will be of your interest, so I do advise you to watch from start to finish to truly understand, and I'll be giving my thoughts on the matter today and doing an analysis of the footage. So this strange account that's showed up on YouTube, their username called Lemi Killmister, the same exact username that was responsible for the last known contact with Kenny Veach on YouTube back in 2014, when a user named by that responded to Kenny about going back out there, which would have been his final hike, saying, "If you go back out there, you won't return back." Ever since, that's what sparked the mystery there. Many people have questioned whether Lemi was the one responsible for Kenny going missing or not, and there's not really been an answer. Yet in recent time, this account showing up and new videos being posted is someone out there being all cryptic, trying to hint, make prompts at the possibilities that they themselves know where Kenny Veach is, or that they are responsible for taking Kenny out. Join me today as I share with you some of the screenshots of the unusual videos, and whether it be debunking or reinforcing the original theory and idea as to Lemi being responsible. I do remember having some experience with Lemi Killmister accounts in the past, so I'll take that into mind today. For those that are watching in this live premiere, share your thoughts, opinions in the live chat box, and for everybody simply watching, leave your comments down below under this video to let me know what you think of the situation, whether you think it's creepy or not. If you do want to catch up on the latest videos, top right corner of the screen, you click on the I symbol, you'll be redirected over there. Feel free to check them out when you get time. And also down below in the pinned comment, there's some additional links by me if you want to support this channel in some way or another. With that all being said and done, let's get straight into this creepy mystery within the Kenny Veach case. And first of all, I'm going to present to you the original Lemi Killmister response to Kenny before going missing. As you can see through archived evidence, the original comment thread which depicts Lemi Killmister responding back to Snakebitmgee, also known as Kenny Veach, at the time of when Kenny announced he came across and found an M-shaped cave and experienced weird vibrations. He talked about his experience online on son of an Area 51 technician. Now, the comments are no longer there, they were deleted. Very odd. Kenny having the most liked comment on that entire page of the video. So who knows who deleted it? Maybe corruption, maybe trying to cover something up. Though with this archived footage, we can see Lemi warned Kenny not to go back out there, saying, "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." After the exchange of comments at the time between Lemi and Kenny, it went radio silent. We never heard from these people ever again, as it was presumed Kenny went out into the desert, went missing, never seen again, and Lemi, well, he remained a mystery. But upon hearing on the news Kenny was missing, many of his fans or followers down the line and strangers came to the conclusion, conspiracy, that Lemi Killmister was responsible. By warning Kenny not to go back out there. It's as if Lemi already knew the outcome. Is it a prank gone wrong, or is it because Lemi knew because he was on the receiving end of it when Kenny went out there? As what people were suggesting as for viewers and fans of Kenny. And what came with that was barrages of questioning towards Lemi. And at some point, Lemi disappeared off the face of YouTube. His YouTube account was originally deleted in the end. Until in 2021, when a new account showed up on YouTube, known as Lemi, as you see on screen. Was this the return of the original Lemi, the original supposed killer of Kenny Veach, or is it simply an impersonation account? Besides that, what came with this account was a wave of cryptic videos and potential messages hinting at Kenny or even just the M Cave hike. I'm going to share with you the screenshots from those videos. Of course, you can check the videos out if you want yourself, but we had to take still screenshots so you could see the things showing up on screen. And I can also provide reference points and the meanings behind them, so don't go anywhere. We move on to the first part. As you can see on screen, 3 videos, cryptic in nature. The very first one uploaded 2 years ago, titled M. M for what? Presumably M Cave. Then the next one 1 year ago, and the recent one 4 months ago. Now, as a heads up, I do have experience with this channel. I did come across this Lemi in the past, and it has stuck around ever since. Roughly 2 years ago to this day, I was covering a video of this channel when that 1M video was up. It was kind of creepy. The audio, you could hear heavy breathing, and there were numbers flashing up on the screen, as well as a map from Google Earth. Now, maybe most people don't remember that video that I did back then, clearing things up and making sense of the matter. So I can reiterate it once again in this video and add on the latest videos which have not been analysed yet. There's some people in the background wondering if it's really Robin, another fellow investigator in the case that turned somewhat rogue or dark. Levels of suspicion running all the way through, different possibilities. With my analysis, hopefully it makes things a little bit clearer. So focusing on the M video from 2 years ago, you had images flashing up on screen, codes, numbers, the $sign. As for the overlay, maybe that was through some editing software, but what do those numbers mean? What do the numbers read? What do the numbers tell? If anyone wants to try and decode them or make sense, feel free to leave a comment down below. But they were interchanging with one another, hence the different slides. You got some percentage symbols as well. Numbers, mainly numbers, and a hashtag. I don't think there was any letters then. It doesn't appear to be Morse code, because normally Morse code is 0s and 1s, if I'm correct in saying. You had some weird glitchy visuals flashing up on screen, trying to pause frame it all was a little bit tricky. Then once we got to this part, there was like some weird underlay of an image, which wasn't quite clearly visible at first. But then when the next slide flashed up, it was made apparent as to what this really was. So besides the numbers, what you see on screen is Google Earth imagery of Area 51, and I believe Groom Lake 2. You see that center of the screen zoomed out. So this is a reference to Area 51. Is this person Lemi hinting at this is where Kenny Veach was taken to? That Area 51 and military were responsible for monitoring and kidnapping Kenny Veach? Do these numbers correlate to some kind of coordinates or timing of events unfolding? I wonder. Now, in my original analysis, when I saw this, I was thinking maybe it's just simple editing software where a person has just got a couple of images, a couple of fancy things, pieced it all together, added the overlays, like where it says play and where it gives a number down at the bottom. You can actually do that on editing software just to create like a visual effect. As for flashing images or glitch effects, that can be applied as well, and that can be done on amateur levels. In regards though to those numbers on screen, that overlay, no backdrop to them, so I'm not quite sure how that was quite applied. You know, at the end of the day, when you get media out there, stuff like this which can flash up on screen, it can look amateur, it can look in-depth, it can be done by both dangerous, dodgy people and just others messing about. You never know. There's a level of uncertainty with these, okay, this media. Now, at the time, there might have been a level of, you know, sensing, is this some kind of subliminal message, right? You got audio in the background, you got some heavy breathing, maybe some music too. But then you got some flashing images up on screen, flicker so quick that you don't actually see them with your eyes, but your brain picks up on them. Is this to convey a message within the mind? Is it to brainwash people? Is it used to confuse others? Let me know your experiences down below. Did you feel anything when watching this video titled M? As for the comment section on YouTube, there were a range of people saying that they were scared, creeped out by it. What the hell's going on? Are you responsible for Kenny's death, etc.? Right? With that being said and done, we probably should move on to the second video, one that I've never seen before. But before we do that, I believe there might be one last slide here. Yeah, this slide was just after the Area 51 image. I forgot about this one. What's it of? I have no clue. Is it of space? Is it of a photo taken on the carpet on the ground up close to try and blur it out? I don't know what those white dots or marks are, or it's just a random image added to the video edit or not, or it's some kind of reference. It's not really easy to make out as to what it could be. I don't see any desert, I don't see Kenny, I don't see an M symbol, nothing like that. I think in general, the video titled M doesn't really correlate to the M cave or the M cave hike, though with the reference to military, this person hinting that military are involved with Kenny's disappearance or simply involved with the M cave, whether that be covering it up or getting on Kenny's back from hearing about the discovery made. You never know. But this one, though, appears to be of the desert area of, let's say, Jomay Canyon, or possibly exiting Picture Canyon. It's kind of hard to tell here. As for the colour tone, well, that's been edited, the contrast, the saturation, etc. That can be done from simply taking a screenshot from, let's say, Kenny Veach's hike and then running it through an editor. But why? To change the tone, to make it a bit more ambient, creepy, possibly? There were some overlays on this video as well. Now, this was just simply a still photo with like VHS lines going across horizontally. So to make it look old, possibly make it look retro. But if anyone knows the exact location here, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm assuming that this is from Kenny Veach's hike, due to, I guess, the lack of vegetation and the warmth of it. And I'm not talking about the edited colour tone. I'm just trying to base it off from when Kenny Veach went out there, which would have been, I believe, October time of 2014. Vegetation's starting to die down with time. But, you know, when you look at the backdrop, when you look at the mountains and then the overlay on the side, part of me initially was thinking this was just coming out of Picture Canyon when Kenny panned around, looking in the distance over that way, where there was supposedly a bighorn sheep, you know, watching over him. But when I compared those images to this, the peak in the back didn't quite match up, so this must be of a different area or angle, let's just say that. So I'd been made to believe that this is from Kenny's footage from the hike route, either before getting to Picture Canyon, going up Jomay Canyon, heading north, up to the mine shaft, passing that, or on the way back down Picture Canyon, coming out the exit point, because it looks like, you know, in the distance, the way the path is well shaped, you could be going back down that way if you're on the loop. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff Clark, feel free to let me know your thoughts. I just simply think this is a screenshot taken from someone else's footage, but it's kind of hard to tell exactly where it is because this is the only image that was present. But the one thing creepy about this, besides the weird overlay and glitch effect, was some flashing static images. And I did pause it at one point, which revealed a creepy looking face and the torso of someone. You can clearly make out one of the eye sockets and then a smaller one. You kind of matched out with where the eye is, you kind of make out the nose and a possible mouth, lip underneath. And then below that, the torso area, as you can see, the shoulders, the way they're sloping down, part of the neck too, at an angle. Now, the bit where it's yellow could imply maybe a shirt, t-shirt, the blue part, an overcoat, a jacket, jumper of some sort. I mean, what's this photo even of? I mean, it looks like a portrait photo. It only seemed to show up once in the footage. Could this photo be like a cryptic reveal of the person behind the Lemi account? Could it possibly be a photo or old picture of Kenny Veach and it's been edited, so it's harder to make out who the identity is? Let me know your thoughts down below. But it's definitely of a person, like a portrait, profile. Slight angle, you see the head, possibly wearing a hat. I'm just wondering with the colour blue, and if there was some kind of hat, could it be a reference to police? Could it be a reference to Kenny's father? How cryptic are we getting here? What relevance does this weird cryptic photo have with the hiking area and terrain? Is it this person secretly is the one responsible for going out there at the time when Kenny went? Because take in mind, Kenny Veach did say in the comments that, you know, if anyone wants to come with me, you're welcome to do so. No one supposedly showed up, but we wouldn't ultimately know though, would we? Because when he went out there the final time, he didn't return back to announce. So someone could have gone out there, someone could have been watching and waiting for the moment, such as this random thing on screen. Now at the very end of that video, which was short, right at the end it flashed up with a different photo of the little caves. So this is before Picture Canyon, before. On the right hand side of the rock wall, the canyon going down. This is before the Skull Canyon, as nicknamed by SB Vegas Adventures. This is the key hotspot area where Kenny Veach in his original hike footage in 2014 announced saying it's deep, it's dark, and it's shaped just like a letter M. You remember that? As he just so happens to walk right past a perfectly shaped M cave. As shallow as it was, it did fit some of the profile characteristics described by Kenny, but no acknowledgement was given until he walked further on and near to this area came across what appeared to be a covered up M cave, which Sean Horlacker investigated in 2019. But in 2014, Kenny said a place just like here. Like here. Was Kenny giving a hint, dropping a reference to this being the spot, but not saying it with certainty? You never know. In parallel to that though, across the other side on the left hand side of the canyon wall was kind of another weird shaped cave, an angle within a M-shaped rock format. And he zoomed in and he said, looks like, didn't finish his sentence. Did he see something he wasn't supposed to? He did appear afraid. He was stuttering a little bit. He decided to walk quick after. He said, well, I'm not going up there, and proceeded to walk on, but at a faster pace. Was Kenny intimidated by that cave? I mean, the reference this photo here gives, this photo would have been more fitting for the original first video posted over 2 years ago by Lemi, which was titled M, because it would match this photo, but you know, they're separate. I think this video was titled C, or had a certain special character in the title. So it is kind of weird. This cave itself, yes, it's M-shaped. Has it been investigated? Yes. Was there much to it? Not really. I mean, it's shallow, but nearby you got some other interesting shallow caves and one which appears to be covered up. So little reference points here. The cave, what you see there on the left, is the keyhole one, in which there was a hole in the back wall, and when Sean went in 2016, it looked like a reptilian eye was peeking through the hole when Sean entered the cave, the shallow one. Call it an illusion. Psychological reasons behind that debunking, but others are still adamant on it being a reptilian eye. Considering it being a hot spot, makes you wonder. Now, as for the colour tone here, does it match the same colour tone there? Kind of. Is it more like a heat you know, when you might get like a heat monitor, a thermal thing, equipment where it tracks heat, body heat. It can make a person stand out. It could make an animal stand out if you were in like thick vegetation. It monitors, tracks heat, and then others can track coldness. As we see here, although it's just simply a colour tone edit and nothing more, was the person trying to create like a visual hot spot as that this is the area, this is the M cave. Does this person know more than everyone else? Or are they just simply randomly messing about? That's what the question is. Now we move on to this one. This was the video that was posted 4 months ago on Lemi's channel, so it's still active till this day. But as regular viewers will know, when it comes to the Kenny Veach case in mid-2022 going into July or so, I moved on to the Dylan Rounds case. So things went quiet in Kenny Veach M-Cave community. And yes, I've returned back since, but in between that big long spell and gap, what was happening in the background, I wonder, right? You would have thought a channel like this would have given up by now if it was just messing about, because normally it's one and done and then that's it. But this person has been persistent over time. What message are they trying to convey? So the 4-month-old video is basically a person, and there's no audio from what I can remember, a person at a weird angle holding a camera in front of their monitor screen in a dark dim room. And what they've got on their monitor is a YouTube video of Kenny's M-Cave hike. And the location of this is when Kenny is describing what's on the other side of the mountains, what's over Wild Horse Pass. So basically, the angle Kenny Veach is in is, I guess, like north, kind of like northwest, north, and he's at the mine shaft. This is at the beginning of Kenny's M-Cave hike video, in case you're wondering, okay? As he pans around, showing what's all around him, right? Such as the reference to how he got picked up by his girlfriend in the past when he hiked up to one of the mountains. You'll be familiar with this area because it's near the mine shaft, and the mine shaft has had many mysteries ever since, like with the crystal skull. Now, is the person here hinting at something to do with this area being the spot for something, this Lemi Killmister account? Are they hinting that they're the one responsible for the crystal skull in the mine shaft? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it doesn't show any footage of the mine shaft, so maybe that's not what their aim is when it comes to this clip. Just Kenny pointing over in that direction. And in a way, where Kenny Veach is pointing over in that direction, you would match it up to this area here. So maybe the Lemi account is trying to hint at what Kenny was pointing to is where the real M cave is at. But people have investigated this specific spot and some have ruled it out. So is that a possible message? The only interesting thing that I did notice, in case anyone is wondering, that the person did move their mouse because it activated the timeline bar at the bottom when normally you're watching a video. The person's in full screen mode. You can see the stop pause button. So it does look like an overlay, normal YouTube overlay. From the looks of it, you've got the full screen mode, the gear icon, and that seems to be it. You know, sometimes what you could look at is, if you're not watching it from YouTube, but you're watching it from your desktop, obviously the overlay can look different, but this matches YouTube from the looks of it. So this person is simply reposting footage from Kenny's original hike and putting it onto their own channel. So nothing too mysterious going on here, but I guess due to the poor camera quality and crooked angle, as amateur as it may look, it does kind of disfigure it slightly and make it a little bit more atmospheric when you normally think of the typical cryptic nature of things in different cases and mysteries out there. So to respond back to Jeff Clark and maybe even Atari when it came to that channel of Lemi Killmister, I can confirm to you that I have seen this before in the past, roughly 2 years ago or more, as to when that very first M-titled video was uploaded, as I did a separate video of it at the time back then. But maybe some people have forgotten about that. and I can't remember the title of the video. So there's no harm in bringing it back up into conversation, because of course what is evident, new videos followed after that point. Were they influenced because I covered it back then, so they thought they would continue? You never know. One thing for certain, when it came to some other Lemi Killmister accounts, other random ones here and there, tying it in with the cryptic messages, the binary codes that I received way back then when it came to the whole Lusitolo reptilian eye, people trying to silence me, people coming for me, but I've only got a certain amount of time left, and when it comes to the 5th of May 2022, then it's game over for me or something. Yeah, all kinds of random stuff going on there, but when I first covered the cryptic codes, I've never seen it, experienced it before, so I just covered it, right? And then with time, it became a bit of a trend for some degenerates coming on in, so they did it themselves and one did it under Lemi Killmister's name. So we thought, you know what, pull the plug, because it's only going to keep on continuing. So it will be interesting to measure and monitor this time round. Everybody watching, keep an eyes peeled for this channel out there, the Lemi one, to see if it does react or respond later in the future. Because one thing that needs to be acknowledged when it comes to the Kenny Veach MKV case, it is popular, it does attract a lot of different people of different age ranges. So when it comes to younger people, younger generations, they're going to have more of an imagination, they might want to mess about more, they want to be creative, they may want to cause a bit of chaos and havoc where they fake things and create mysteries in an unnatural way. Is this an example of it today? You never know. But this is the thing. I have come across much older people with time that have made a circus performance out of something. So really, it could be both age ranges are capable and both can be as degenerative as one another. Is this a serious message being put across to, in today's video with the findings? With that weird footage, the overlay, the numbers popping up on screen, the weird cryptic face showing up, the digitals, is that some kind of message in a serious way or just messing about? I guess we'll see with time, but it's worth archiving because you never know. This footage may get deleted of that channel. The channel may delete themselves in the future. So if we can archive it somewhere, you can always refer back, just like Kenny Veach's comments archived on my channel and maybe elsewhere too. The original source gone, and that's what seems to happen with time. It's kind of like some of those articles that I had in my favourite tab. Unfortunately, about 2 to 3 of them have gone now, that the page can't be found because it's either become invalid or the website's crashed or the article has been deleted. And why delete all these different traces over time? It's weird. And to refer back to the childish nature of people if they are faking stuff in this case, based on today's video and analysis, Artari, you might be able to relate during your time of when you came across the, what was it called, the MKV Clue Crew website or something, and you're trying to figure out who it was, and it traced back the IP to Canada of something, and then as for the Google Earth or the coordinate references, it was near to like a retiree home place. It didn't quite make sense, and it was opposite a church or so. Some meeting spot, meet here, sounded a bit creepy. You did a bit further research. Some wealthy individual, was he called something Atlas? And then a person that had children, and the children being responsible for creating that website, and they apologized or they demanded for the video to be taken down. Then in the end that they took their own website down. Weird stuff, weird lengths people go to, but Atari did her research at the time. I remember fragments of it, so apologies about my recollection. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Overall, do you think this is the return of Lemi Killmister, or do you think it's someone messing about? As I said, we just simply document it here in a somewhat formal way, just in case it disappears in the future. As for my conclusion though, I wouldn't be surprised if it is someone maybe messing about in some way or another. They don't have to directly be responsible for Kenny's disappearance, but they could be responsible for causing misdirection. What is their true motive behind that though? that does remain a mystery. So all in all, we'll leave it there for now. Whatever happens next, I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.